zoomed up Bruce again. It's not something I can get out of, apparently, but I can try to endure it. We're getting closer and closer. So now I'm way back. I'm at the end of the table now. I have to almost take the computer off the table. So, little scenario going on. Can I even back it up a little bit? I wonder. It'll change everything, I guess. But there we are. Let's see a little bit. Hey, everyone. Are you all excited to hear about new UFO news? Lots of UFO news. As a matter of fact, hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you very much for being here. We have, hopefully, everything will stay on. Thanks for coming by, everyone. Appreciate that. Hope I'm not too close to the microphone. Let's get set up. But aside from that, we got the date. Not exactly, but we know which week they're going to have the public hearing. A lot of people are waiting, both religious people, spiritual people, atheists. Some people are just curious about what the governments are going to say about alien beings. Not everyone believes in alien beings. And again, alien is a term. That's it. Nothing else to add to that. Alien is a term. They're entities, right? In general, same reason why the military does not call UFOs UFOs. They use anomalous phenomena. Remember when they asked on the News Nation exclusive with the interviewer on News Nation, which is Mr. Coulthart, Ross Coulthart, asked David Grush, are there any extraterrestrial spacecraft in the government's possession? He says, you can call it a spacecraft, yes, is what he said. So right off the bat, there's something to that, yes, in essence, it's a spacecraft. There's a lot more to the secret that they're not telling us. I know everyone has touched on the secret, both religious people or maybe paranormal researchers or ufologists or people just into, UFO buffs and UFO videos, or just you're a truth seeker. You will have come to a conclusion or a theory at one point that might be exactly what's going on that they're not telling us about. We can come to many assumptions and we can theorize using facts, looking at what went on in the past, what they said at the UFO reports. This is serious stuff. Senators are now moving to require a release of U.S. government UFO records. Senator Schumer, Chuck, you're going to be hearing about him a lot. The same way in Roswell back over 50 years ago when they caught these craft that landed, which, by the way, is being revealed. That's another part of the UFO report. They're going to be talking about Roswell, a surviving alien being. So that's confirmation. If the story is real and there's somebody on this planet that crash landed from another intelligent society or, community, civilization, it's because aliens exist. So you can, I can make a video and end it there, but it doesn't matter because people are going to have to go through the whole process of understanding what's going on. We're in the beginning of time to be going through all that. So Senator Schumer pushes measure to declassify UFO records. Why? Because the Pentagon, is it the Defense Department, somebody, right? The military, the Navy most likely, changed the FOIA request laws. They do not want to declassify anything. It's the Navy as a fact because they said it themselves that they were not going to divulge anything else UFO as from this point on. But very interesting. Two things here on jumping around. Of course, House GOP plans to hold long teased UFO hearing. I quote, that's what it is about. Aliens. I think people deserve to know. Republican Tim Burchett. So Burchett is another one, Tennessee, that we're hearing, who is, by the way, leading the effort, right? And he told this to Politico, because there was an interview there. They're getting interviewed all over the place. They're bouncing all over the place, left and right also. A small but vocal contingent of the Republican conference has been pushing for a hearing after the Pentagon and other national security agencies have said in recent months that they are investigating unidentified aircraft and hundreds, I repeat, hundreds of new reports of UFOs. Alex Wong says. The House Oversight Committee is something I want to talk to you about. I took some notes down about that too. Don't forget, they're going to be starting a whole bunch of new committees now, right? The committee will consist of maybe, I don't know, 9 people, but there's talk about the number of witnesses now that are going to be present at the UFO report, which is going to be in the last week of July. So the last week of July, I'm going to take a guess here out in a limb, the 31st. Most likely, maybe they're going to wait till the last minute, or things might change. But it was said approximately less than 24 hours ago that the public hearing is going to be at the end of July. Now, again, we all know that there's information that's always redacted. Put those little black lines across the information that we see when we go to the black vault. And if you guys, are not going there to the black vault, that's a person that's declassifying information from the government. As an American citizen is using the Freedom of Information Act, which permits a civilian in the United States of America to be able to declassify even government websites and, things that are on YouTube, government channels on YouTube, because they're there, right? The government's there. US, Canadian government, Trudeau's there. Not many subs, but, everyone's there. And you can go on that website to look around to find any information, right? Well, Greenwald is declassifying the private videos and hidden videos. Sometimes it costs a little bit of money for them or anyone to be able to ask for a Freedom of Information FOIA request to be able to be declassified or divulged. So it has to go through a whole bunch of steps, of course, right? So a small but vocal contingent. So that's going to be a very good thing. Senior Republicans have now tentatively slated such a hearing for the last week of July, according to 2 Republicans familiar with the hearing. So that's the information that we got. That's what it is about. Aliens. I think people deserve to know. Republican Tim Burchett, as I said. Both Oversight Chair James Comer and Speaker Kevin McCarthy, as some of you know, has signed off on holding a hearing with Burchett and Republican. The one that's going to be in charge to lead this is Republican Anna Paulina Luna. So Republican Miss Luna will be in charge. That's just a little fun, right? No, I'm serious. Her name really is Luna. I didn't know Luna was a family name. I thought it was the name of the moon. But so asked to take the lead, Miss Luna. A spokesperson for Comer noted that the hearing is still in its planning stages, but it is looking like it will happen towards the end of the month. So that's what they give us as information. So it looks like it's going to happen at the end of the month. They have dibs on putting it back, on changing the dates if they want to, right? The Kentucky Republican said that it will be a subcommittee hearing. Despite the early stages, the hearing has already sparked pushback, not only within the committee, but from the Defense Department, according to Burchett. Again, as I mentioned last stream, the intel community and, of course, the Pentagon are actually getting in contact with people that are actually 12 witnesses, by the way, that are going to be at that hearing. So gives you an idea of who is going to be there. We don't know who's going to be on the committee asking the questions. We don't know who are going to be the witnesses, but I can take a guess. The exclusive interview on News Nation from Ross Coulthart, who has interviewed David Grush, the whistleblower who was working for the Unidentified Aerial Task Force, says alien bodies, right, were retrieved. Retrieval programs being done to by the government. There's a whole bunch of secret societies and associations, not societies, but I'm saying society, but associations that are working with the Pentagon. Declassified information on the blackvault.com proves that the Pentagon was working with 2 secret associations, private associations, on trying to experiment time travel, teleportation, and a Stargate on the moon. They're doing different propulsion type systems, right? What the hell's going on? All this under everyone's noses, like all this is being revealed. I can't say it more than I've said it for the past 3 months. It's an interagency battle. And on the inside, there are some people that want to bring out the truth, but they can't do it alone. So it's going to be like kids at school. One kid's going to tattletale on the other kid. And the more kids that tattletale on them, the more people will speak up. Well, that's what's going on right now. I've seen battles on the inside of Congress, the White House, the hearings, House of Commons in Quebec, right here, right? Exactly. It's not Quebec. Anyway, sorry about that. Ottawa, wherever the hell it is. They fight like children. They punch each other. They jump over desks. There was a big fight in a country yesterday. I don't even know which country it was. But again, in their parliament, there was a lot of fighting going on. Welcome in, everyone. Another very interesting one, and this is the Economic Times. Take it with a grain of salt. There's news that's going to come out from Reuters. There's Reuters, however you pronounce it, NBC News, the New York Times, the biggest liars that are out there. Some of them, obviously, but sometimes they get exclusivity on these people. And people go to the channel to see what they have to say. Take it with a grain of salt. Take only the news that they say. Don't necessarily jump on what they think is going to happen afterwards. Keep an open mind. Some people are really closed-minded, where if they're not hearing ideas of a friend or something, they don't know what's going on, or they don't have any ideas of their own. We're indoctrinated. People are mind controlled to listen to the system. We sit down and we say, we wait for the system to write us something, to tell us something, to do something, to prepare something, to put on a mask or not. Anyway, we won't get into that. UFO footage. U.S. Congressman makes shocking claims. Because don't forget, out of the 11 witnesses that are going to be on that panel subcommittee, what's going to happen is that these are high-ranking whistleblowers. Possibly they're going to be there. David Grush himself could be there, but he's trying to get Congress to allow his clearance to be put aside for him to go and testify. And he said, I'll talk to you about everything and anything you want to know. Why is he trusted if he doesn't have the footage in his hand? It's because of who he is, and it's because of how high up he is. So do you notice that the people that are speaking up in Congress and stuff like that, it's a different group of people? Not the little ones that we usually hear talking about UFOs, eh? We have Marco Rubio that's actually on the intel community. I did not know. So what's happening is that people higher up in Congress are speaking out. For Marco Rubio to come on and say, no, listen, I've spoken to many whistleblowers. He's trying to protect them. And I quote, I'm trying to protect them. There's a way of having them come out. So they're going to have to pass some laws. They passed the Declassification Act, which is going to permit people to get information from the Pentagon, hopefully, but not the people, the government. Aliens, talking about aliens. So Congressman Republican Tim Burchett, another, Chuck Schumer, Tim Burchett. These are names that you're going to hear forever because of what just is. I can't even say what just happened. It's because of what is happening right now. Congressman Republican Tim Burchett from Tennessee has issued a concerning statement about classified UFO footage that he claimed to have witnessed. So another thing, which I won't linger too much on, are people that take their own lives. There's, I believe some of those events happen around. What's going on here? Am I still here? Yeah. So some things are going on around that where it's, it's going to be hard for some people to talk about it. Maybe some of the families to talk about it. Maybe some family members didn't know what happened to certain, events with their husbands that were in the military. This has to go through a process of coming out. You can imagine how it's going to be crazy, how people are going to be all over the place. The ones with their heads cut off like a chicken is not going to be you and I, the public. It's going to be the people that are involved in these secret projects. Those that don't know it, a secret alien UFO craft retrieval project. They have dead bodies from alien bodies. And guess what? Many different types of alien beings. So take it with a grain of salt, or you could say that it's a false flag. The government is completely lying. That's just hearsay. I can't prove to you what I'm reading on the news from these credible people, right? Or some credible people, but you gotta take it with a grain of salt. Just listen to the news. If one person admits about it, you must know that eventually all the countries of the world will come out and talk about it. If not, it's because they're lying about something. They're still hiding something. UFO footage that he claimed, Republican Burchett, to have witnessed. Very concerning, he says. Burchett said that the UFO footage hasn't been made public, has not been made public. During an appearance on the Event Horizon podcast, right? That's why everyone came to know him, most of us. Burchett, who serves on the House Oversight Committee. The Oversight Committee is the one that's going to be speaking on the panel at the end to judge what's going on and to speak to the people about UFOs. So for those of you to say that he's not going to say much, this is what he's saying. Burchett said that the UFO footage hasn't been made public during an appearance on the event. Blah, 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 blah. On the House Oversight Committee expressed his speculation that extraterrestrial life forms might possess technology beyond humanity's capabilities to handle and understand this, as per a report that was done by Fox News. If you want to know where that report was done, that would have been in the following days, maybe yesterday. The House Oversight Committee, which is the committee that's going to be speaking at the end of July, right? The UFO reports that we've seen come out, the subcommittees, that's the Oversight Committee, but another new committee that is being formed, right? And unfortunately, lo and behold, I think it's the president's going to choose who's on the committee. So yeah, take that into consideration. The House Oversight Committee has previously conducted hearings regarding potential threats posed by unidentified anomalous phenomena. Now, like I said, it doesn't mean they say that aliens are invading us and killing humans, right? I'm sure some are, but that's just me. I can go through a list, like guess. I don't even have to remote view. I can just absolutely come up with and be so damn close to what's going on. Okay, human trafficking. Okay, exporting drugs, organ donors, and I know, I get it. I get it. They're here setting up power grids. The aliens are obviously here using power grids that we know not of in Antarctica, all over the place, which, by the way, that's where India's going. The South Pole, but on the moon. That's where they're going. So, had previously conducted hearings regarding potential threats posed by unidentified anomalous phenomena, UAPs. That's what the government uses term for UFOs. That's actually what they just said. The government's term for UFOs. Burchett remarks followed the emergence of whistleblower David Grush, the one a couple of weeks ago who came out on the Unidentified Aerial Task Force that says the government asking Congress that and telling Congress that there's a secret retrieval program and that it's been going on for a hell of a long time. David Grush, a respected Air Force, take it with a grain of salt, Air Force veteran who made claims about a secret UFO retrieval program operated by the government. Now, I'm not crazy. I know that he first said that it was operated by a secret association, and I'm not stupid. I know for a fact. But now they're saying about a secret retrieval program operated by the government. And then it says a message, but it's an announcement. I was getting scared there. In response to David Grush's unverified assertions, they have to add that in there to be safe. That's the same reason why you see the news media laughing and over laughing and putting up, X-File music, putting up little green aliens on the top or UFOs up and down with smiles. I don't think it's to ridicule people. And honestly, I do think they take it seriously. I think they're actually afraid of what's coming. and that they're going to have to integrate it, spoon feed it to people so they won't lose their minds. In response to David Grush's unverified assertions, the House Oversight Committee is planning a hearing to discuss the matter. Republican Burchett, along with fellow Republican Miss Luna from Florida, by the way, the woman from the moon lives in Florida, will lead the committee's investigation into these claims. Department of Defense DoD spokesperson Suzanne Goff previously stated in an email to Fox News Digital on June 6 that there is no substantiated information to support these claims, which we don't care about. I don't care about someone's opinion. Proof is another thing. Regarding UFO investigations, as she continues to say, the Pentagon houses the All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, right, which is AARO, the AARO, right? A specialized department responsible for examining UFOs. Simultaneously, we have, not off topic, sort of on topic, but different association, we have NASA also conducting its own investigation into UFOs. So operating independently, but in parallel with AARO, both NASA and AARO are expected to release separate reports on their findings during the upcoming summer. More news in. That's news that NASA is going to have their report. It's not going to be the same as AARO's report. Unidentified Aerial Task Force David Grush, retired now probably, is going to be interviewed, hopefully, on that panel. The interviews that are being done with the whistleblowers, Ross Coulthart from News Nation, exclusive interview, said himself in the interview, there's lots of images, lots more videos, lots more whistleblowers that are coming out. Some of them, it's too much. It's going to be too much for some people. So what does that mean? Is the world ready to find out like the complete truth? I think we are. UFO is an abbreviation of unidentified flying object. They mentioned that at the okay. Regarding UFO investigations, the Pentagon housed the All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, a specialized department responsible for examining UFOs simultaneously. I already read that. Sorry about that. So there's some news. UFO news. It's like it's coming in. There's some more here, actually. It doesn't stop coming in. UFO news and updates. I'm gonna have my brother come on and say hi at the end to ask him what he thinks about talking about entities, because he said something the last time I was talking with him online on his stream. We had a great stream talking about everything from Mayans, giants. We were talking about giants, but like you said, there's even in religious script they talk about a manipulation with even the fornication with another race or whatever, demons coming down, Nephilim, whatever. I mean, the story coincides a possibility where what I'm calling aliens, what someone could call fallen angels, like I said, it's a term that there's a whole bunch of terms that are being thrown at UFOs. Don't forget, we're just in the beginning of time where people, and not everybody knows yet, that there's different terms now. They're compartmentalizing everything. They're, different characteristics for many different sightings. And now there's drones, there's UFOs that are human, there's UFOs that were back engineered, alien craft, but put human propulsion inside, anti-gravity testing with an alien craft. So the mixing up of everything that we're seeing up in the sky is just a complete jumbled up mess. We can never know whether it's China or, China we could see a UFO that everyone's going to think is alien, and it could be the most primitive UFO, because they play with the light. Jason mentioned it the other day. My brother, he said, like what I'm showing, you don't see like a metallic object inside. It's just always light, light phenomena, unidentified aerial phenomena, or now what the government's saying, unidentified anomalous phenomena. So you have submersive UFOs, you have, they're in the oceans. But here's the thing, guys and gals, UFOs are diving into the ocean without creating a wake, without causing bubbles to form, without making a splash or sound, which is physically impossible. Laws of physics, it's absolutely impossible. That's like David Copperfield walking through the wall of China. Also impossible, right? Well, if it's possible, I know can do magic. I know there's some witches, probably a few goblins here on Earth. I mean, think of it. You guys can laugh, right? Maybe not everyone's laughing, but there's a lot of different energy here on Earth. And I mean, I don't know anything about my neighbors. I can only imagine 8 billion people, how different we all can be, and how some of us could be interpreting energy better than others. You know, it's a weird, it's a weird situation. What do you want a guy to do? UFO news, it's going to be coming out all week. I'm lagging here a bit, guys, so it takes me a little while to speak out. Senator Schumer, he'll be talked about for a while, pushes to declassify UFO documents. It's going to be awesome. House Minority Leader supports. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. This is just a few hours ago. So the Majority Leader, which I just talked to you about, now we're going to go see what the House Minority Leader supports as for the transparency of UFO data being exposed. I mentioned also last stream, Luis Elizondo did not want his videos, those videos that were leaked in his name. It wasn't him that caused the leak. He wanted it to be accessible for him and people that were working on these deep secret projects. Are you surprised that the government has that many secret projects going? That has been many years. They're retrieving craft that are not from this world, still speculation until we get more proof, but the proof that's coming out and the people that are bringing out the truth, I tell you. House Minority Leader supports transparency over UFO data. Nice to hear. Just every little positive bit. It's always no and no and no for everything. Now they're running scared. Pentagon is running scared, begging for the people not to give out testimonies. Probably a few are in danger also. Jeffries said he supports the transparency of UFO data. Support comes day after Schumer announces legislation to declassify records. Pentagon, no information to substantiate claims UFOs exist or existed. So this is what the Pentagon says. There's no information to substantiate claims. Don't forget, they also came out and said that there's never been any secret project or any project done related to UFOs till way back to 61 or 65, I think, something like that. People pretend that, Project Blue Book, Blue Beam, even though Blue Beam is not a real project name, was just mentioned, I think, more or less by Von Braun or someone. There is no Project Blue Beam, by the way. That's a fact. I looked it up. I didn't find any project ever. But I'm not saying I don't believe in what people are talking about Blue Beam, but it's just, it's literally nothing concrete as a project and in any government files anywhere, which I tried to look for. But look what they did with the Philadelphia Project, right? Philadelphia Project, the people that were working on that boat that were still alive were interviewed and they said they saw nothing. Good thing, right? Because everything's done deliberately. Shut your mouths. They will be killed. Family will be hurt, whatever. It's not hard. You don't have to threaten them even. They probably already know it, most of the people. Probably only get little heads up as, better be careful what you say, right? Easy to threaten someone, but they have been threatened. As a matter of fact, News Nation, Ross Coulthart, who has the exclusivity on these whistleblowers, and the claims about David Grush, what he's been speaking about, he's also been bothered and threatened in his email. As a matter of fact, the people that were at NASA's recent UFO briefing, they were all threatened on the panel too. So there's lots of threats that is occurring with these people that are coming out with this information. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, way to go, Hakeem, said Friday at a weekly press conference that he supports transparency when it comes to classified information regarding UFOs. While Jeffries said he has not been briefed on any information related to the subject of UFOs this year, he said he believes that any information that is enlightening and can be put into the public domain should be put into the public domain. I do support transparency to the extent this information that can be put into the public domain that is enlightening one way or the other, and perhaps is able to dismiss some of the conspiracy theories that exist increasingly in our society. That is certainly something that I support, Jeffries said. Well, Jeffries, obviously, you know that it's not going to deny any conspiracy theories. It's probably going to vet every single conspiracy theorist that talked about that's a bad word. Conspiracy theorist is words that the I think the left woke must have invented to try to make people believe that, oh, look at these crazy crazy flat earthers, or all crazy mooners, crazy ufologists, the UFO freaks and alien freaks. Yeah, I don't know which of the two of us are freaks, either the ones that believe in it or not. Somebody believes in an alien, somebody believes in a higher being. Is there a difference? No, it's a belief of something that is higher than you are. So what I'm trying to rationalize this theory about how we perceive God, how we perceive an alien, whether you believe the aliens made us or not, it doesn't matter, because no one should be getting mad, because in reality, religious people will still just say, well, God works in mysterious ways. We can't know everything that he did, but he made everything over and under the firmament, if you want to depend on the Bible. I read that much in the Bible. Remains interesting. The Senate Majority Leader said the measure will be an amendment to the National Defense Authorization Act and be modeled after the JFK Assassination Records Collection Act. Be careful. The National Security Authorization, something is going on where they're getting Space Force is something with projects getting national security satellites up in the air. So it's the National Security Phase 3. National Security Phase 3. They're going to be sending up rockets with satellites. I heard 7 satellites were launched from SpaceX. Launched 7 satellites and just relanded the boosters back on the ground. 16th launch, I heard. There was a launch. What was it? China, Japan. It exploded, didn't get off the launch pad. There's a 1 at least. Schumer's announcement came after whistleblower David Grush, a former member of the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. Would I not like to be a fly on the wall in those meetings? Told News Nation about his allegations that government officials are retrieving extraterrestrial, non-human spacecraft. Both religious and not religious people, spiritual or not, atheist or not, you should be worried, so to say, or interested in what's going on, because whether you believe it's true or not, we will find out at one point. Pentagon has said there's no information to substantiate claims that any programs regarding the possession or even reverse engineering of any extraterrestrial materials have ever existed in the past or even exist currently. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer said he will try to hold a hearing about UFOs later this month. So, all this is going on. Podcast host and filmmaker Jeremy Corbell, who thinks Schumer's plan is a major development, said, so do I. So do I. Said direct witnesses to UFOs are ready to roll and just need to be given a hearing date. Filmatographers in relationship to ufologists, NASA, and astronomers always fascinates me. Is aspirin safe? No. News Nation We're not alone. UFO whistleblower speaks. Former intelligence officer makes claims of potential extraterrestrial life. It's all over the news. Whistleblower US has quite a number of non human vehicles. I love that one. David Grush, we're definitely not alone. And he goes like, you should see his face, the guy when he does it. It's sort of hilarious, right? For decades, the UFO question has been consigned to the realm of speculation, conspiracy theory, and science fiction. That's it. However, in recent years, as you all know, serious people have started taking on the subject with academic approach. Renewed release of videos purporting to show encounters between American naval aviators and what the Pentagon has labeled unidentified. Do you understand the renewed interest? Because the release of videos purporting to show encounters between American naval aviators, and what the Pentagon has labeled unidentified aerial phenomenon, UAPs. Congress has convened hearings to determine what these UAPs are and what threat they have, if any, they might pose. If UAP do indeed represent a potential threat to our security, then the capabilities, systems, processes, and sources we use to observe and study or analyze these phenomena need to be classified at appropriate levels. This is Scott Bray, which is the Deputy Director of Naval Intelligence. Of course, they're going to speak out. That's their job to speak out, to shut everyone up. Luis Elizondo, lots of stories coming out about him. They said everything and anything about that guy. Still under investigation. So why would he quit? Why would somebody do that? Why would he quit working for the government? Because, by the way, did you know that Luis Elizondo wrote out a written letter, not letter, I'm not in Newfoundland, a letter of his resignation, and it didn't make it to the Defense Department, but somebody kept it. That's coming out also in the information, as they're talking. So if it if there is a threat, the Department of Defense has established a special team. Look at that. The All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, ARROW. Repeating it so it gets into your minds. Its job is to investigate and identify what are now hundreds of reported sightings. So we're getting up there in the sightings, guys. And there's a lot of sightings that are hidden. So far, they say, they have not confirmed any of them to constitute proof of alien life. So that's something that we're getting. And Jason, just shooting that out there. We're getting, one side of the government saying that they have proof, and the other side is saying there's no proof. But it's a sucker punch because obviously, I mean, I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but you must know there could be a possibility that they are manipulating something, whether it be experimentation on humans or on some bodies that landed here from some other planet. I believe that they're doing a lot more than that, a lot more sinister things that could possibly be done. Pretty much what we could think of, anything we could think of could probably, for the first time, a former member of Arrow is speaking out with a stunning story. The U.S. government official stance, however, remains the same. Human beings are alone. U.S. government official stance. Right? This is what's going on. They're going to have to speak out about it. And they will. I came from a blue collar family in Pittsburgh. This is David Grush speaking. I read a little bit of his transcript. And I had the money for college, said Grush, David, whistleblower from the Unidentified Aerial Task Force. I always admired people in uniform, and I've always wanted to be a part of something bigger than myself. Need some sad music here. About 18 years ago, he received an Air Force scholarship in physics. See, guys, they don't go and get any Tom, Dick, or Harry, okay, to do these projects, to be involved in these projects. If somebody's working in physics, he's looking for a good salary. And he's going to get a hell of a good salary if he learns to shut up. And because they compartmentalize these secret projects, they're all working on the same project, but they all have different bosses and they're all working in different areas. As a matter of fact, could be even be different countries, right? So that way they keep it safe. They can continue to do this without, anything happening. So, a in physics, David Grush was offered. He was originally commissioned on active duty and served 14 years in the Air Force. Yes, that career intelligence officer. Okay, whoop, intelligence officer. You start by that. Intelligence officer is going to get up high, obviously. Grush spent time on the ground in Afghanistan, probably related to UFOs, maybe, right? And other places he can't mention. Oh, wonder why? Because that's even more classified. Like I said, David Grush is not telling people everything, but he's going to try to bring some things out that will maybe spark more to come out. He can't mention before rotating back to Washington, D.C. Right. And my last position is, said David Grush, which I left of 2023. I co-led the UAP portfolio for the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. This guy was in charge of the agency, guys. So hang on. It's that guy, the boss, in secrecy, that's bringing it out. It's causing him problems to have his retirement, and it's going to cause his family problems. Obviously, he mentioned that, right? Intelligence agency and some of the highest officials within the Department of Defense and intelligence community used to call on me, David Grush, to advise them on some of the hardest target sets that the country had. Grush said he's a young guy, intelligent young guy, most likely. Put the fan there because now we're getting some overheating of the computer. It's rare that I don't go on and say hello to everyone, eh? Trying to get some of this news out there, guys. There's lots happening. It's evolving quickly. It's changing. Guys, they're about to admit about UFOs. A couple of minutes, I'll have Jason on. These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles. Call it spacecraft, if you will. See, this is David how David Grush said it. This is, and I quote, he says, after being asked about these craft, these are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles. Call it spacecraft, if you will. Non-human exotic origin vehicles that have either landed and or crashed, he said. Grush's Grush told News Nation that the U.S. is in possession of quite a number of these non-human vehicles. He said he didn't believe it at first himself. He admitted that. I thought it was totally nuts, said David Grush, and I thought at first I was being deceived. The same way some of you are feeling deceived right now. People started to confide in me, approaching me. Had plenty of senior former intelligence officers. Now we've seen senior intelligence officers. We've seen defense ministers in Canada, in the States, all around the world. Haim Eshed, Israel. Come on. They came out talking about secret projects, even about hybrid aliens living inside of Mars. You're going to say, who said that, Bruce? Haim Eshed, which he's in the news. These states call him up and interview him to talk about defense tactics. This guy is saying freely that the U.S. has hybrid aliens. No. Oh, I hope the volume's not on here. Oh, actually, it was, wasn't it? Darn it. I hope you guys. I hope you guys were hearing what I was saying. This is interesting here. Grush, however, is hesitant to use the term alien life himself. He's, they named the program. I'd never heard of it. They told me. This is David Grush. Based on their oral testimony, and they provided me documents and other proof. So he's not talking about that proof, but don't forget, he said when he gets a clearance, he is going to talk and show that proof. He obviously has files or knows where he can get them and other proof that there was, in fact, a program that the UAP task force was not read into. And that's how the fight started for those that didn't know. David Grush brings back to Congress that, hey, by the way, you put me in charge of these UFO programs, secret programs, but there's a retrieval program going on, and I'm not allowed reading into it. I'm not allowed having any information or seeing what's being done. We don't even know who's doing this work. So, okay, if that's not deceiving enough, right? Grush, however, is hesitant to use the term alien life. So, well, he's hesitant. He's saying alien vessel. So again, it could be alien to us and not necessarily alien life, but again, take it with a grain of salt. I couch it as somebody who has studied physics, where maybe they're coming from a different physical dimension as described in quantum mechanics. We know there are extra dimensions due to high energy particle collisions, etc. Fast radio bursts, quasars, name it, waves in space, etc. And there's a theoretical framework to explain that, he said. There's another thing. In other words, Grush believes humans are not alone. He says there is potentially extraterrestrial life out there. He's never personally seen non-human intelligence. This is another confirmation before people get too scared, but says he's spoken to enough people directly involved in what he calls the program that he's convinced is real. I started out as a non-believer, David Grush says. I came to the problem as a hardcore physics guy, intel officer, he said. So I have, excuse my language, high bullshit factor. That's what he's saying. I was very methodical, interviewing people who didn't know each other and making sure this wasn't some kind of cover-up of some other program. So he hears about something and he goes and interviews something else, doesn't mention a word, and is going to be like any police officer doing an investigation on a crime scene, is going to be expecting the same keywords to be popping up, the same time, the same people to be popping up, and it's going to go like that. He can do a lot of lurking without actually mentioning and bringing up the names of these projects. David Grush says he pressed to gain direct access to the program. So this is why all of this is happening. He wanted access to the program, and that's when the trouble started. David Grush did have some trouble, guys. So he says. He claims his investigation was stymied, and his requests for access were rebuffed. So, in other words, he was shut off, right? They shut the door in my face. They denied me access to these programs, he said. Soon after, he says, he endured reprisals and retaliations from above. So I laugh when he says that. Is it from the moon people that he's getting retaliated? But anyways, from above, the elites, the bullshit shadow government. He reported that information to the intelligence. I'll head over and listen, react to the comments, everybody, in a couple of moments. He reported, this is great information. He reported that information, David Grush, to the intelligence community inspector general, and eventually filed a whistleblower complaint. The experience, he says, is why he has decided to go public in a recent article in The Debrief, written by Leslie Keene, if you guys want to look it up. Grush says he is not being paid for any testimonials, anything that he's doing, but rather is doing it out of a sense of service. So far, he's playing his game right, and he's playing his game right. So the only thing we can do is hope that he's telling the truth. That's like some of the people that are watching me. I did a poll the other day, do you trust me? Am I a fraud? Am I not? And I was happy to see a lot of honest answers. And some people did say, been following Bruce for some time now, but I'm still skeptical. I'm still watching, right? Just waiting to see what comes next, which is normal. That's what David Grush did. So call me a Boy Scout or whatever, says David Grush. He's such a mama's boy. It's just when I saw the kind of wrongdoing I did. I don't want to. Somebody just spoke about me at home. In one of your homes, somebody just mentioned my name out loud and I heard it. I don't want to be 60 or 70 years old in the future, says David Grush, and have that, like could have, should have, would have kind of feeling where I could have made a difference in the world, right? Could have made a difference, he said. I added the in the world. That just popped up in my head. I guess I was reading his mind. I did not want to live a life of regret. And his conviction remains the same. We're definitely not alone. He said the data points quite empirically that that we're not alone. He says the United States has intact spacecraft in its possession, and possibly bodies. So, when you recover something that's either landed or crashed, sometimes you encounter dead pilots. And believe it or not, as fantastical as that sounds, it's true. I remember his face when he said that. I'm going to remember that story forever. Hey, just absolutely incredible. Oh my gosh. Am I ever close? I said I was so close, it looks like my hat's too big for me. I got a bobblehead. The guy's like, hello and welcome, everyone. Obviously, I missed the whole kit and caboodle. Let's see if I go back up here. Very, very bad. Missing everybody. The aliens types are angelic. Jason John Swartz. I know that guy. Would you like to come on, brother? If so, I'm going to present. Nope, I'm going to invite. I'll put the link up for you there. And if it doesn't work, well, I can send it to you some other way if you want. I'll copy it there. Did I copy it? I think I did. Let's do this. Having a lot of problems with StreamYard these days. Lots of problems with a StreamYard. Hey, thanks everyone. Lisa Eckerly, Star Hunter, Divine Sorcerer in the house. Thank you very much, you guys. Rose, I am super excited. The truth is coming out. I'm telling you guys. Mr. Christopher Rollins, thank you very much. Christy Williamson, thank you for being here. Karen Fitzpatrick, thanks for coming back, you guys. Damien's here. Star Hunter, George. I feel like romper room again. I see George. I see Lisa. I see Elias. KM's in the house. Hello, fellow explorers. Thank you very much. Charlene Williams in the house. Thanks for being here, you guys and gals. Thanks for being members. Thanks for everything you guys do. Damn right. Right on. And my brother Jason John Swartz is in the back room. I'm going to click on you right now, buddy. Add to the stream.
He's looking for you.
It says
hey,
add
Bruce,
to the stream.
Is the volume okay?
He sees you.
Hold on. I don't. Oh, my volume was off, actually. Can you hear me?
I can hear you great.
Right on, man. So
you hear me okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, too bad. Actually, give me a second here. So what do you think of those?
My color looks like I'm about to vomit or something. It's the worst color. I look like grayish green.
That's actually, yeah, it's not too bad. Don't look, I'm so close. My hat, it looks like I have a big
the white shirt does even more of a contrast, you know.
I have yet to wear a white shirt, dude. I haven't worn that yet. I haven't had the balls to wear a white shirt yet. Actually, you know, see-through white shirts where you can see friggin' fat through the shirt. I'm getting there though. Yeah, right.
Well, don't tell me till Monday where you're at with the progress of the fasting and stuff like that. I want it to be a surprise.
Oh, absolutely. And it's going to be a nice surprise because, of course, I'm not eating till then. That's for sure. So,
yeah, I'm fasting today, too.
Right on, man. I'm starting to enjoy my cramps. the toes, fingers. But, man, I feel great fasting. I'm telling you. I really.
It's addictive. It's addictive. You know how people say like, oh, it's very restrictive. You know, it's like, yeah, I know. It's like somebody smoking a cigarette. It's like, yeah, it's very restrictive when you start stopping it, but then you realize there's peace and you don't have the cravings and stuff like that. So
absolutely.
But let's get back to the aliens. Yeah, tell me more about the water because yeah, I think 100% that there's stuff happening deep in the water too.
I do too. I would agree with you on that one. Yeah, for sure. I definitely think there's something going on. Let me back this up here a little bit. Am I looking at? I never look further, eh?
No,
it's like no, but like every time you see me going sideways, it's because I'm pushing back the computer 2 feet, and you never see my head go away. See?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's because
I'm still there. Right? I'm at the end of the table. It's crazy, man.
But it looks good. It looks fine though.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
You know, who's that? Remember David Icke there? yeah, obviously everybody knows who
Yeah,
David
yeah,
Icke is.
absolutely. He talks a lot about a lot of that too. Even the religious side to that. He's got a
Well,
lot.
I thought that, I was like, he's going a little too far with the serpents, shapeshifters. But I'm like, there's you're talking about various aliens, different types. You got the grays and stuff like that, and it's interesting because in the Bible, seraphims are known. They're a certain angelic being that
I've heard of
is
that.
known
I
as a flaming serpent. And I
haven't
was
done any
like,
research in that, bro, at all. Actually, Seraphins, but I'm hearing a lot of people talking about that term. Yeah, interesting.
yeah, yeah, no, so I mean, it definitely, but I just think I don't, whatever they are, I think that they're bad. I just have a bad feeling about them.
I'm scared about it too. It's in the back of my mind. But keep talking though. Maybe you got some points as to why it could be bad.
Well, just because if I'm taking, instead of extraterrestrial, interdimensional, I believe
Right.
that this happened in antiquity. Humans aren't stupid. Okay, back then, there's even a kernel or a seed of truth to Osiris and the mythologies and all that. I don't think that they were just idiots believing, in Santa Claus. There was a truth, of course, maybe, over the millennia it developed more mythology about it. But if you look, they were playing gods, and Yahweh biblically did not like that. They were supposed to, these were the rebellions. These are the
Yeah,
ones
and
that
that
were,
would make sense. Like, I mean, even somebody that doesn't know about. I mean,
yeah,
you can even come to that conclusion that it would be
and
maybe
and
common sense.
and everything was about the seed. It was a seed war, So we're talking DNA and stuff like that, and I feel like all of a sudden, like there's been like, let's say 2000 years where miracles don't happen, spirituality. I mean, even the lights in the skies that everyone are talking about I think they were a lot more rare. And I think that the spiritual realm is again coming close to the physical realm, and we're going to see some weird stuff. And we're not born into that, and we think, oh, that's all fairy tales. But I think that these evil interdimensional beings are coming back. They're not going to play gods because everyone's atheistic. They're going to be their space brothers that seeded us. So in a way, again, they are our creators. They will seek immortality. And then there's this whole mark of the beast, and a lot of Christians are talking about the corrupting the image of God. And I
That's
just
a good
feel,
way of putting it, man. That's a good
hey,
way of putting it. I like that. That's a good way of putting it.
yeah,
Seriously.
I just think it's all DNA, and like you're aware, and it's just weird how everyone's become aware of the
Yeah.
first book of Enoch,
Yeah.
and it makes so much more sense. Actually, it's Matthew 25. That's my next reading tomorrow, and they're asking like, well, when's the end of the age? And Jesus like straight out says, as in the days of Noah, so will it be at the coming of the Son of Man. So everyone's like, oh yeah, they were evil. Now people, no, I really think DNA manipulation, and look what's happening now, especially China. They are pulling some shady stuff. They are
Yeah.
adding human DNA, and for me, I just see that yes, there will be a disclosure, but it's not going to be the government, man. It's going to be like bells and whistles. It's going to
Yeah, it's
be,
going to be screaming from every belltop. There'll be priests, ministers talking out about. They'll be fighting. They'll be debating. There'll
yeah,
be pain. There could even be death. And yeah, exactly. Like you
yeah,
said yourself, the expression of them biting their tongues. Like I liked it when you said that, is because it doesn't mean, oh look, there's going to be tongues on the ground. It's
no,
that it's going to be so maddening that they'll be like
yeah,
clenching their fists and mouths with
yeah.
what's going to come up. That makes
I
sense.
I think everybody's going to, the vast majority of people will embrace the not the disclosure about them. Like, I'm coming home now, that kind of thing. I think the majority of mankind will embrace it because it's going to offer, obviously, God through Jesus offers eternal life. Well, they will through, hey, you just need this upgrade. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
and I'm scared that people will get deceived by the promise of immortality, and it seems like it'll be some kind of mixture of man and machine. Like that's the feeling I'm getting, you know. So we might be completely wrong, but I think it's at least Christians, it actually still fits our narrative, because somebody had said, well, what's going to happen if the aliens arrive, you know? And I'm like, nothing. It's
It's already concluded.
in our
It's already
story.
been written, right? Like written in stone, as a matter of fact. I wouldn't be surprised.
But and then there's the whole rapture. I'm going, well, that's going to be weird. I think that when this rapture, when the Christians are disappear, that's immediately when they will come, so that they are able to say, listen, you guys are of a high enough vibration. The Christians are getting re-educated. They've been beamed up. And I think that it's just going to fit. Like, I don't see how the rapture would, like, people would be,
Just imagine that. Imagine that in a spaceship, like in the bus,
yeah,
being completely horrified, going for your first lesson.
yeah.
What are they going to make me learn? You know?
No, it's all, and it's like CERN, like the quantum computers. They're talking about getting information and entities. It's like all of this stuff is getting all of a sudden very religious. You got CERN, you know, with Shiva the destroyer.
Yeah.
Um,
I was wondering why it was hot, because I had the fan turned on my screen. You've been having problems, man, not to cut you off, with your computer last week? Is it overheating?
no,
No?
not so far. No.
Crazy. It gets hot. Let me change hats, man.
What do you have as a computer? You're an
I'm
Apple guy?
keep going. I'm listening to you. Yeah.
No, I just
iMac Pro. I'm right here, man.
I know it's very good if you know how to use it, but I had to get rid of my Mac, the MacBook.
Remember this hat?
Yeah. No, I know. It's like it was too small for you because your head was.
I know. Seriously, look, it goes over my ears. All right, I could have it go
Yeah.
over my ears. So that was
Yeah.
sort of cool. It's a bit less. This one's a little less hot, but no. Listen, you know, they're going to talk about other beings existing. Look at it the way you want. Some people, we're talking theories here only. We're assuming somebody
Yeah.
can see it. Somebody can see it as an extra part of the story of the Bible, not yet shown in Scripture, but just to mention that, well, there's a lot that God's been doing or did back in the day. Like you said, it's not something that just happened. It's like it's not like God decided he's going to whip up some alien beings.
No.
Those people could have been human, right? They could have been changed. They could have become bad. They could be bad spirits, like you said. You know.
Yeah.
And
Like,
Anunnaki's supposed to come back. Aren't they the ones supposed to come back? The Anunnaki or something?
yeah, I remember even like before falling for this Christianity mumbo jumbo. I'd read Nibiru, Planet X. Well, you know, if you just look at the verse, as above, so below. So yeah, that heavenly fight will descend here, I think. And that's that weird passage where it says, and then the stars will fall from heaven.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a little annoying.
Angels are star symbols. I don't think that the stars, the celestial stars, I think that it just means, at the end, there's the angel, like the fight up there is coming down here now.
There you go. Not just that. It could mean that the stars will be conquered, and the people living on planets or stars, if in theory there are some, which I'm pretty sure there are, they would be liberated. The stars have fallen.
Yeah.
The gods have fallen. Like we've heard that in ancient Greek myths and whatnot.
Yeah.
The fallen, fallen angels.
Yeah.
Someone that did fall, right? And we're sitting here looking up, talking to God, and I can't help but wonder if we are fallen angels, even though it's a theory. I often think of that. I said, imagine if we were the fallen angels here to learn our lesson.
I think that when they're in their proper habitat in the heaven, they must have a different form, probably like light beings. We could use our imagination. But when they manifest on Earth, going just through the Bible, they look like dudes. They're men. I think that those fallen angels that Genesis 6, almost corrupted all DNA. If you look at Noah, it says he was perfect. A lot is translated generation, but when you go, these softwares where you can click the Greek and see, it's
Yep.
also, it says genealogy. So I think like almost everything was corrupted, and Noah was left, not that he was like perfect, because it says he was perfect in his generation. Who's perfect? No one's perfect from the Bible's narrative, but he was
No.
perfect in his genetics, I think. And without the book of Enoch, this flood thing makes God look like a monster.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
oh, I created you. I know the beginning before the end, and now you're evil. You're dead. Now, I really think he had to do like chemotherapy, and those were giants. And it says there were giants, but they said, and then there were some after the flood. But it seems like they were like downgraded.
Right.
They weren't like the first ones, and that ties into like the demigods fighting the titans, fighting their fathers. It's like things are really
I
starting, to attach mythological.
Right. Well said. I said something in the comment section. Someone was religious, and I guess they were sort of trolling me, but in a
Yeah,
funny way, like just trolling, not like the
yeah,
evil trolls that we have,
yeah.
but just funny trolling. And they were talking
Not,
about,
not like the people I have to deal with and make response
yeah, no,
videos.
no, exactly. I get them
Loathing.
too. I get them too, but most of them have died of heart attacks. Like with the fire and everything. What a bunch of
Yeah,
faggots!
yeah,
It is so stupid. It's so lame.
yeah,
But that's what they target. When they target someone, they'll target what they think bothers people because they're doing what bothers them.
yeah,
That's what they do. They're so friggin' lame.
yeah.
But
Because
anything they can do, I told people, Jason, I said, hey, we're approaching 100,000, everyone. We are, which by the way, it's been almost a year, Jason. I'm only 2,800 away from 100,000.
no, I know.
But I haven't moved. It doesn't move. I got 62 subs today, and I lost 28 during the last stream, and I'll probably lose 28 more during this stream. But the trolls have heard me say Bruce is anxious to get to 100,000, so I'm doing it on purpose. I'm putting up images of cakes written 100,000 on it soon. Nothing you can do to stop it from arriving. To the point, it's almost like holding a knife to someone's neck and just being right close to his ear, saying,
Yeah.
Punk. Punk. It's like it's just driving it in there. But if they believe that they can affect me by manipulating the subs, go right ahead. They work for me. They're always there, and they're doing the sub thing all the time.
Yeah, I'm getting that a bit too. Definitely. I don't know what else. So do you agree that there's something DNA, because I don't know, I don't obviously follow as much as you, but does it, like, people that say they get abducted and stuff like that, I'm just going by like some documentaries. It seems like, again, there's sex, or they took something like, oh, that's your daughter, and stuff like that. It's like everything is a seed war. It's it's going to be scary. I personally, however, do not believe that people will be tricked into receiving whatever this mark is. It's
Me
very
either.
clear that it's an allegiance. So it might be, let's say, that link, that you put on your forehead, like so that now you got like YouTube and your Android.
Yeah, but now you're thinking like me, because I think that way, and I could also tell you that right now, Google that's over my head, when I used to stream, and there was Google over my forehead on the top of my page. Also, there's a lot of metaphors in the Bible and stuff, which I love. It's like a book of puzzles. It's a book of mystery that you get an information given to you, but only if you're the right one for the information. I don't know. Some people will read the same page. Nothing comes from it. I read Genesis the other day again, and I go, no, I shouldn't say holy shit, but anyway, I said like, oh, mother of Lord. And I can't swear without using his name. Anyways,
well, that's horrible.
Holy Dunedin.
I know, like, even me, like, I'm a Christian, but it slips out just because it's bombarded in our brain. Like French, French, it's every single thing is about Catholic stuff. I'm not Catholic, by the way. Esti, Callis, Tabarnak is tabernacle. Isti is the host.
It's not a swear word. It's not a swear word. But when we say it, it was made to be
discussed. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the only way I would use tabernacle is if I walk into a church. You walk into a tabernacle and you go tabernacle. What can people say? You're just sitting there in the tabernacle. They're like, shh. People are like, don't talk. Keep it quiet.
So what are what are these different type of aliens, like the grays? Like you said, there's different type. What are people claiming? Like, what are they saying?
Well, here's one. The Ebens.
Okay.
Jason, I never talk about what type of aliens exist, except for the funny gray alien, which could be a hybrid or something. Like they don't have no genitals. They don't talk. They have black eyes like devils. I mean, it's just, but the Ebens, they declared that the aliens that exist are Ebens, EBEs or EBNs. And also EB and Eben, also words in the Bible, if I'm not mistaken, but write it down. So that's what the government said in the news, that Ebens exist, EBEN. That was spoken about a long time ago with Linda Moulton Howe, that was supposed to interview an extraterrestrial. She never did. She's a researcher. Also, I'm throwing it out there, she's a filmographer. Stanley Kubrick, filmographer. Jeremy Corbell, filmographer. Bruce Ward's filmographer that never made films. So look at it the way you want. People can accuse me. If I make a film, which I like making films, if I make a film, will people turn around and say, well, Bruce is just a filmographer? So I'm careful with what I say, but still, Jeremy Corbell makes movies. He makes space movies and shit. I mean, why does he have dibs on these, videos that came out, which is just very mysterious, some of them can be governmental, man, Go ahead.
Yeah, I think to a certain extent, look, I think that the majority of people that are on the media, and so I think that those are just puppets. I think that the real ones are way higher, and I'm very skeptical about any alien disclosure, because it could be like controlled opposition. It's like, okay, we're going to disclose stuff, but I don't think they'll ever disclose it so it's beneficial for us. I mean, just the science.
Jason, they didn't have to disclose it. They did not have to disclose it. They could have kept it secret, and they're not going to come out with 80 different points, because the first time we ever heard of and I, like I said, it's good, your theory. I hear you, but I'm just saying, as for a good debate for that, is that everything that came out from the Pentagon, who says, by the way, Oumuamua is an interdimensional spacecraft. You know why, Jason, they're saying that, though?
No.
They're saying that because of the speed of Oumuamua, the asteroid, the comet now. Because when everything comes in the solar system, it's and I'm not going to do this big physics thing. It's simple. Everything has the same speed. Debris has the same speed as the comets, the asteroids, and the planets are rotating around at a certain speed, ISS space station. But then you have the Oumuamua that comes in, slowed down, and then went around the sun. So it stopped and looked, and then it sped up leaving, which it shouldn't have, because the pull of the sun should have really stopped it from moving. As a matter of fact, Oumuamua probably should have got stuck close to the moon. We would have seen it venturing out for months and months, maybe even coming close enough to hit us. That would change the weather. No problem. It comes in, it goes around, and it's this thing going like this, front to back. So it slows down by the sun, and then it turns trajectories and goes towards the constellation of Lyra fast. So it's like it stopped and turned. It has no characteristics of being an alien. So Avi Loeb, there's a Harvard physicist researching right now that is combing. I think you heard a bit about it. They're combing the bottom of the Pacific Ocean, and they found 50 spherical balls that are of a metal, or not a metal, but an element that is not from Earth. And they say that it's a UFO crash site debris from something outside of this world again. But again, it could be something from interstellar space that crashed without having necessarily a pilot in it. Not everything has pilots. We have drones.
Look at us with drones. Like what? Like already, why would we ever man a space thing when we have drones and stuff?
Exactly, it makes sense. Like, well, we wouldn't need it, right? Yeah, exactly. Unless you're going to research it. So you can be sure they're going to have cameras inside it. If we have cars with cameras backing us up and everything, they're going to have I mean, look at the GPS in the airplanes, aviators, pilots. They don't drive the plane, dude. The commercial
No, I know.
pilots, some of them
Autopilot.
have never had. Yeah, they've never had to take the controls of landing an airplane because it's near impossible. It weighs a freaking ton, and the minute you go left, it goes left. The minute you pull it back, can't pull it back. Autopilot, everything's going. But they can have that on the UFOs. But
Yeah, of
what
course.
would be the reason if it was China or Russia in those UFOs? Because that's also a theory.
Yeah.
Why would they not have killed us right away yet? If we've been seeing it for years, these UFO lights, if they had the UFO technology, the one that will have it will create a war, will cause a war for the other one. And we're seeing a Ukrainian war now. So, I mean, it's soon to be finished, by the way. Soon to be finished. What do you think? We got to be careful what we say there, not to talk about the death, but in general.
Yeah, no, I haven't followed it at all.
So NATO wants them to join. Everyone that's with NATO, like us, the assholes, Canadians, we're with NATO. So if ever one of the countries get attacked that's with NATO, all the other countries are going to go, ooh, we have to attack that country. So one country attacks, the other countries fund it, the other countries bring soldiers down that operate the machinery, and they get help from other people. Like Russia's going, what is it?
In my opinion, it's a war between two countries, and United States shouldn't have gotten involved. I know it. I guess superficially, it looks like
it's true. It's true.
But
they're defending their labs. Right? They're defending their labs and everything that's there. But the ideal is that Putin just won the war. He won it 3 months ago, and now it's going to be confirmed because Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, he used to be an actor. And he was acting as being the president of Ukraine. It's hilarious.
Well, it's just as pathetic as our prime minister that used to be a teacher, and like not even a math teacher, it was some music.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's like Ronald Reagan, an actor. These are all actors. Everyone that
the famous speech though, he goes, I can't help but wonder that if some outside force came here, how it would unite mankind. And they want us united because the beast system, Antichrist, call it whatever you want, will not be when there's countries. Ain't gonna be like trying to be one country. It's gonna be all globalized, and then the leader, the beast.
Yeah, because now they have to infiltrate. To activate the system, they have to set up all the frontal organizations and stuff. They're not. We're not there yet. Like, there's no end yet, but lots of pain. People disappearing, whatever. But that's what they have to do: is set up all this crap. And at the same time, good news. I'm telling you, the good side is really winning so far, because and only because it's the military that has to stand up. Military has to turn around and tell the government, no, it's finished. We're not going to do any more corruption for you guys, or go to Afghanistan to leave $80 billion worth of helicopters. Remember that one? They were all flying in helicopters the next day. Dude, they're brave though. The next day in an Apache helicopter, the whole helicopter spinning around, and he's going inside. Yalla. He's trying to drive it. And there was one swinging off the blades with a.
There's somebody holding on to the wheel of that's, it's kind of sad.
That was real. Yeah, we got rid of a few there.
Look, it's always the same thing, right? They're creating chaos here while they slowly change all the little things while they set up the gates and stuff like that. I still remember that Putin was at the World Economic Forum shaking hands. They're all the world leaders.
Because Russia has another agenda, and it's Agenda 235. Apparently, they're up a bit further down. So I mean, they all want to have the monopoly on who is going to be the king of the world, and that means they all want to control the grain, the medicine, and the finances and trade. And
Do you know what?
you
Yeah,
know,
go.
go,
Sorry.
no, go ahead. I'm done. I'm done. Go ahead.
There, if you guys are curious, just type they deceive the nations with sorcery. Go to Blue Letter Bible. It allows you to go to the Greek and it says all the words. And all the Bibles say sorcery. It's actually pharmakia. So,
Oh
and
yeah.
I'm not saying that pharmakia in and of itself has always been like poison. Of course not. Uh, it's the technology at this present age now will be DNA big time and pharmakia. And it says that the kings of the earth deceived the nations with sorcery, pharmakia. You can just anybody that's
Yeah.
watching,
Interesting.
just Google that, and that's why the Koof was just like a tester, like that. This is nothing compared to what. But me and JD from Garland Farms, just look up medicinal eggs. Okay, look up spermicidal corn. These are all things, and that's why they want to remove the little farmers and the grass-fed, the ones that are trying to work with the land. And the Koof was perfect. It made all of mom and pop stores just boom, boom, boom. Everything got centralized. All of the same people,
Yeah.
massive billions of dollars. But when our food chain becomes dependent on them, when they're talking about making eggs medicinal, where you eat the egg and then inside it forms a medicine. Go look it up.
Right.
Medicinal eggs, and then all of our corn. What if they're like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
you know
know all
what?
about it. I know all about it. The salads that too. The pigs in Texas a couple of months ago.
Yeah,
Brazil, some cows.
yeah,
Bill Gates is buying farmland. He's making
yeah,
salad and rows of salad. Star
yeah.
Writer. Answer a few questions. Isn't Grush, David Grush, just doing what his mission was? Yeah, it was ordered to find and reveal the secrets. And to his own shock, he really found them, and it's dangerous for him and his sources. Absolutely, Star Rider. So, like he's talking, Jason,
Yeah.
David Grush is the one that's on the unidentified aerial task force.
Okay.
There's an unidentified aerial joint task force which
Okay.
was leaked out, and I think that's where they're hiding the information. So
Mhm.
Navy has videos, you have the military has videos, the Air Force has video, Navy, Air Force, Army, whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
DARPA, defense has videos, and they're all
Yeah.
hidden on these black boxes, obviously in someone's home, hiding just quite simply in someone's cupboard, or in the garage or something, maybe in Biden's garage beside his
Mhm.
Corvette or something like that.
Yeah. No.
Very
Let me see.
interesting.
Did I have like for the alien grays, like like you said, they have like just a little slit, big eyes. Like, would you agree that they're somewhat amphibious looking,
Yeah,
frogish?
they look frog-like, they look
Yeah.
Aquaman-like.
Yeah. So
Um,
check this out. This is another one that you can go check. Just talking to not just anybody who's in the chat.
yep,
It's
be sure to hide any
Revelation.
names. Be sure to hide any names if you open
Yeah,
the pages.
yeah. Revelation 16:13. Go to that, and it says, "And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon," and dragon obviously is symbolic, "and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet." So it's like there's a dragon, the beast, and the false prophet, and there's one frog-like unclean spirit. So I always found it like, oh my gosh, it's true. They do look froggy. So it's like
I
all these
know.
little
I know,
connections.
and it's like there's only frogs outside when I go out at night. There's nothing else.
Lick
Probably
them. They might
saying they're
lick them.
talking like, what time does the UFO come down? It's 3.
That's
We're gonna
funny.
cook this fat fudge. that's what, that's what they're gonna do. Because
Yeah.
that was, the thing is that if I was to be abducted, I was probably too heavy. I could imagine that's
Yeah.
why one of those craft would have downed. It's because they would have lifted up and hit all the trees on the way up, Pang, pa-pang, pang,
Yeah,
pa-pang, pang, pang, dropped me. Too late and to take off at the last minute. Me just sleeping in my dream, just see me going by, like sort of like
it's like they can defy gravity, but they can't deal with your fat ass back then.
no, exactly. And the worst, that's one thing I was lucky though. Never had a fat ass. Everything else was fat to make the ass look small.
Yeah, I mean, even me, like, my fat was well distributed.
Yeah,
You
me
know,
too.
a lot of people are like, oh, you weren't that fat, you know.
Me too.
But
How come when you gain weight that your penis never gets fat?
um,
Everything gets big and ginormous. Look at his cheeks. Look at his legs. Look at his little penis. The
drinks
guy last
actually,
week. Sorry, everyone.
yeah,
Had to bring that up.
yeah.
Too many people have seen them.
Yep. Then it's like awkward silence. All of a sudden you hear,
You just see the guy goes like, takes some
how's
off.
that? How about that basketball game?
Yeah. How about those Mets?
That's it.
That's baseball, right? Mets.
I don't know. I don't follow that stuff at all.
Oh, I pedal pretty fast, bro. The Scratch says you need to pedal faster. I don't think I can pedal any faster. Scratch. I got marks on my floor. I got marks on the floor. I literally moved the bike. I read a comment the other day. Hey guys, when I go for a ride on my bike, how come I never see the house getting further away? Must have had about 150 to 200 comments saying, you're on the hill, you're going around the house.
Yeah.
No, I'm on an exercise bike.
It was like a parable.
That was dumb, but it was funny. It had some good fun.
You throw them out there once in a while, you got a good one, you know.
You see, Michael says, yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Michael. He says, I've heard there's a race protecting us from another race. Me, that's a feeling that I had. And it's also something that I've heard that there is a race protecting Earth from a malevolent, actually, species in theory. So
but that makes perfect sense too. You know, I just thought about it. It's like, yeah, there's fallen angels,
right?
But of course, all the other ones are supposed to be ministering. In fact,
Right.
Satan got mad because after once the angelic realm was created, it created man, and then after Satan finds out that, oh, like you're going to exalt these people eventually,
right,
actually higher than the angels, we're supposed to minister to them. So yeah, I think that when that angel activity and stuff like that, the fallen, I think the fallen will come first. Jesus, I'm watching too much Trump. It's very good, very good. But they'll come first, but eventually, yeah,
China.
There's going to be guys.
It's China.
Yes. China. It's China.
And he has the same tone. If you want to know if Trump hates you, he'll say your name that way. Yeah. Biden. Joe.
Yeah, he'll pronounce it.
Joe.
Yeah, the guy's a raging narcissist, but I like him. And I just looking out them, Canadian, but I don't know. I thought he did a good job, but you know,
he did a great job. He's doing everything for the states that no one's ever done. Didn't take the salary of $400,000 or $500,000 US dollars a year. Leaves the money in there. They're all pissed off because of his Mar-a-Lago place because he has parties there and he has Republicans over there that go and have parties. And on the other hand, Biden is having parties with Hunter, probably cocaine parties at the White House. Did you hear about that? The Secret Service has abolished the investigation, has closed the investigation into the cocaine that was found. They didn't say what the quantity was, which I'm pretty sure it wasn't a rolled up bar bag. It was most likely a zippy lock or maybe even a briefcase, obviously, but they dropped it. They just dropped that.
His son, it came out, you can fact check me, I don't know, but that on his phone by his son, Biden is called pedo something, and you can look on the net. There's some uncomfortable. There's a lot of
like we saw I saw him with doing the crack, all the other different drugs with
I think they're satanic.
The
I think that they're part of the human traffic. I think that the Vatican is connected with that. It's a bunch of satanic, in my opinion. they take the children because they're the innocent, and they
Yeah.
torture them,
Yeah.
and
Careful,
then they
careful,
drink
careful,
their blood.
careful.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
think. They call them
No,
a
no, for sure.
adrenaline
For sure.
something, you know?
Yeah. It's, hey, I got demonetized for saying Depop.
Yeah, I mean,
You
it's
know,
it's
but
weird. They're doing a lot of my old videos, like anything that.
that's what they do. They'll remove something that I did in 2021.
Yeah,
But here's the thing: the guidelines in 2020 are not the guidelines today.
yeah,
So if you said something about a virus in 2017, they're going to strike you,
yeah,
even though it's only in 219 or 220 that they put up the the
yeah,
friggin' guidelines for telling us to shut up about it, which is retarded. Very.
yeah.
There's a new social media platform called Thread. There, it's again bad. It's Zuckerberg, I believe, that opened it up. They're not allowing people to freely talk on the platform. And get this, they allow you, when you join, all your friends on the other social media platforms are already subscribed to you. So there's already 30 million viewers there, which they're
Wow.
trying to get up. They're trying to compete with robot Elon Musk's,
Yeah.
Twitter. You know what he called? He called his kid like 13 like numbers or something, like
Like a
like
weird name or
even
something.
106 or something. I mean, these are the guy is he invented Neuralink, and he's got two twin children that are named by numbers. I mean, F off. I
Yeah.
sit here and I laugh. I'm saying, seriously, are they actually not hiding? At one point, we'll be walking around. We're going to start witnessing people with horns, and people are going to say, "There's always been people with horns here." It's like
Yeah,
people
yeah.
aren't going to realize. It's going to be scary, I
Oh, no,
don't
it's
know.
definitely
We'll
going to be
yeah,
scary but interesting as well. I
absolutely.
think that's why humans are so attracted to fantasy movies like The Lord of the Rings and stuff like that, and because I think that there's like a memory of that, within humanity, that's like, yeah, it was it was almost that crazy back then. I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why we enjoy it.
It's that's like, yeah, people. And now here's the weird thing. Could you imagine how many fetishes that have never been thought of or spoken of weird things people we're all sitting there saying, oh, the only fetish is the guy sniffing and licking someone's derriere and he likes feet. But
Yeah,
imagine all the weird stuff that people like doing, like Biden, like
yeah. Oh yeah,
smelling hair.
yeah. You can
you
just
know
Google
you know why he does that? I believe
farts
he's
in a
a
bottle.
I believe, yeah. I bought
Like
one.
hot chicks or
I
something,
bought one
they're
here.
super hot and they're like,
I
"Oh
bought one.
yeah,
I
like I
bought one.
sell I
Hold on, I
sell
bought one.
my
I
farts."
bought one. I bought one. A mason jar. Some fat chick. I showed you. No, I'm kidding.
No,
I
but
know her though.
yeah.
She's selling farts online.
Yeah, all sorts of weird stuff like that.
Jason, we have to sell snowballs. We have to start selling snowballs. We'll send it in liquid form and we'll say freeze.
Put in freezer. Yeah,
Put in the
activate.
freezer and you will see this is original ice, not snow
Yeah.
from an ice storm.
Do not heat or it'll disappear. You'll lose it.
Yeah, drinkable storm water.
I always get my water in plastic bottles because I want my dose of paraben estrogens every day. Thanks.
Absolutely. And don't forget, we give back to the whales.
Yeah.
We fill their stomachs with plastic. One whale, they counted 1,800 bottles, I think,
Yeah.
condoms, nets. It's like I was
Oh, no,
wondering about the
it's
condoms. I was like,
ridiculous.
who was he talking to? But anyways, it was
Yeah.
very, very weird seeing all the plastic in the ocean. We're filled with plastic, eh? We're
Oh,
filled with nanoparticulate plastic that is inside our bloodstream. A little concerning. The
we wouldn't even
plastics
know.
inside our bloodstream.
Yeah, we wouldn't even know.
No, exactly. No, and the doctors wouldn't even tell us. That's the worst of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Well,
the worst of it.
yeah, I saw a recent movie. What was it yesterday? It was last night actually. And yeah, do you notice how they're allowing more and more drugs legalized and stuff like that? And it's like,
Yes, the mushroom coming in Montreal.
Yeah, the
free
mushrooms, stuff like that.
Serophilum mushrooms and cops, in general, like in the States, man, that's what's happening. The FBI just got caught, and the CIA, for doing over 3 million busts and arrests warrants without warrants.
yeah,
Like 3 million times they've arrested people. And the guy that was in charge of that says, I can't say I remember any of the cases.
no,
It's embarrassing.
they've legalized like stuff like fentanyl and meth and ecstasy. I don't know what that means. Does that mean if a cop stops you and you have a certain amount that's acceptable,
Yeah,
going
even the
away,
cocaine, even the
or
cocaine.
does
Like
it
if you
mean we
have,
confiscate it and we don't charge you or something? Because to be honest, I've known two junkie kind of addictive people
right?
call it addiction. And actually, when they were in jail, they got their life together. And then when they
Yeah,
come out and they get their freedom, they ruin their lives over again. They're actually
yeah,
better out there. And I started with it's a disease, but I think that no, the drugs that are being used are very lethal, and it's causing a lot of crime. And I know I have compassion for people who have addictions. I used to go to AA, but to have those people still in the streets, you should see just across the border in Ontario. There, I won't say the actual place there.
yeah.
It's like it's like
It's
a
like Vancouver.
well, yeah, Vancouver. It's and this is all part of it. Dumb them down, and
Did you see? We're not really supposed to talk about it, but did you see the disposal? Not disposal. The machines, vending machines that they have syringes in. Straight up syringe with the rubber thing and everything there, like go, and there's
yeah,
Tezadrome, whatever the hell the name is for people recovering heroin addicts and stuff. It's all there. So the
yeah.
first night that they put up those machines in the States, dumbasses, the drug addicts went to the vending machine,
Try to get it. Of course.
2 a.m, took everything out of it, and then bought himself a cell phone and saying, "You need needles? We need rubbers. What do you need? I got everything here for you. You need some of this, need some of that." The guy's gonna sell it to go get himself a batch. I mean, it's freaking
It's really
retarded.
sad. Yeah,
Telling
no,
you.
it's crazy. It's so bad. It's so sad to see too. Like I'm seeing, I work in a hospital in the ICU and stuff like that, and the amount of overdoses and suicide attempts in our youth. Like 20s, 30s, young people. It's like at one point I'm like looking, I'm like there's 5. I'm like, how? Like I'm like, we've never seen like 5 young people that were anoxic brain injury, because obviously you get fentanyl. When you overdose, you slow your breathing.
Just say they left the world. Don't say the S word. We're not allowed. It's against guidelines on YouTube to talk about anything. Anyone that whatever. I often do that. Hey, I got my live stream demonetized by doing this. I was sitting there talking. I said, anyways, I won't say it, but I went like that. I went, oh God, you're gonna make me do it again. I went like that, demonetized. Talk medical misinformation.
Oh, wow.
Like I could have went pretending that a duck's getting back, and what the hell? But that's it's really weird.
You do that, and it's like, this is not duck hunting season. You talk about like what I just talked. Here's a number if you're experiencing. I thought it was people that used to like work at YouTube that would watch stuff. And I didn't know it was like a AI machine.
There's no humans here watching us, dude. There's nobody here. It says they're all robots. Probably most likely, most of them are robots. Feel like something is going to happen that's making them open up. I agree with you, Andromeda, on that. Bluebeam is similar to what's known as 3D or 4D projection mapping. Lots of people talk about the holographic images. Like I believe the moon could have a holographic image to hide a surface, for example, even on Earth, that can create the visuals, like you just said, but it cannot transmit sound. It's lasers and a medium to reflect off. You
Yeah.
got to love it, man. There's a lot of smart people on the internet here. And
Yeah.
like I'm studying in ufology, light, the sun, physics, heliophysics, just that. I'm going to be dumb all my
Yeah.
life. But some people study lasers, some people study a lot of other things. And when we all get together, just here this week, you guys must all agree with me. I mean, when the things that people are saying now, everyone's awake. Everyone knows about David Grush. Everyone knows about the alien bodies, except my neighbors. Again, I went outside. I said, "So did you hear about the alien bodies? Alien bodies. You look like an alien body."
Yeah. That's what most people.
It's sad.
Yeah.
It's literally sad. I wanted to jump kick, temple kick on each side of the head. You know,
Yeah.
wake up, like
No.
wake up. You just hear the like the shaking. What the hell? Wake up. You want to wake people up. It's like look up, look at the light. What do you think that is? Like, what do you think that is? Hold the head up.
Hey, Donnie Darko. That's a good movie. He says, "How do aliens, in your view, for into heaven? Because everyone who has near-death experience see heaven, and it's always the same story, and no aliens to be seen." To be honest, like it's vague. Don't forget there is the Old Testament, the Torah, the Jews. They believe in Sheol, and it's just a common grave. And then after we have for us, there's this parable about the bosom of Abraham, and there's this rich man, wasn't compassionate to this poor, sick, crippled guy, and they both die. And all of a sudden, this rich man's in an uncomfortable place, and Lazarus is being soothed. And then he's like, I'm really thirsty. Can you give me some water? Like, no, there's this big chasm that, that side can't reach that side. And he goes, well, can I go back and tell my brothers, as if like to warn them so they don't have the same fate as me. And they said, even if you come back from the dead, they won't believe you. So obviously that's an afterlife place. It's a parable for sure. It's an afterlife place. And people are still alive, so it's not the end judgment or anything like that. So I do believe that there is a common grave for man, and there's a nice place. You're kind of go where you deserve in a way. And I think that people that have near death experience, some of them have horrible experiences. I saw hell, and then other ones, yeah, they definitely see pleasant places, and they see family members, and I think that you can enjoy that time until the throne, judgment occurs.
we
There's
all we
one
all
thing.
we
There's
all have
just
messages. Go ahead,
yeah.
Matt.
Well, I would just finish with the Bible specifically says, "Do not pray to the dead." Because the evil spirits, they can read your mind to a certain extent. It says even Satan can appear as an angel of light. We've played with Ouija, Bruce, right? We know that they know.
I love it. I'm all
Yeah,
into
well,
the
we
occult
didn't
and
like
everything,
it
man.
that time when mom was and dad, stepdad was at Dominican
Loved it.
Republic, and
I
it said
loved
that
it,
we
man.
were going to
I
die.
love.
We were
I
freaking out,
Yeah,
And it
but
was all that to say,
it's
for
a high.
me,
It's like a bungee jump, man. It's like a bungee
it's
jump.
exciting. Yeah, but for
It's
me,
a high.
the warning for me is don't talk to the dead, because the evil spirit will show up like you want it to, and it'll know kind of your thoughts. And
When
it
I
could
die, if you don't talk to me, then I'll
you'll
show
haunt
up.
me. You'll haunt me.
Yeah, then I'll show up. I'll be going by the house.
Fair
I'm
enough.
gonna say,
I
"Speak
think that
to
I think that answered though.
me." What?
That probably answered the guy's questions. Like, yeah, well, 100%. Like, I'm Christian, and I don't deny near death experiences at all. Um, I think that they're real, and I think that some people have horrible near death experiences. And but the most important is, if you look in Revelation, there's hell, okay, which they unfortunately the translations use hell for everything. So in the Old Testament, instead of being the common grave Sheol, they write hell. And then after in the Greek, they're talking about Hades. That's not hell. That's the common grave. That's like the Greek version.
Yeah,
There's
right.
Tartarus is where these titans or something are held. And this in Christianity is weird. It's the only time that Paul says the angels are being held in Tartarus. And it's like, whoa, like saying that to Greek people that know that the titans are there. But what's very, very, very interesting is that the lake of fire is not hell. It says, and then Hades and the grave. So the death and the common grave. So death and hell will be thrown into the lake of fire. And then it specifically says, and that's the second death. So it's like
Yeah,
okay,
and
well
that's the smell of meat in
well, it means
space
it's not
because the
eternal
devil's
conscious
cooking.
torment.
That's why
What I
it
find is
smells like
important,
meat.
though, is it says second death. Therefore, there's no eternal conscious torment. That's
That's why it
very,
smells
very
like meat in space. That's why it smells like meat in space, because the devil is cooking.
they're cooking up something.
It's or God's having a barbecue, and I believe that I will be part of that barbecue once we get up there, and that's what we're smelling. We're smelling God barbecuing, cooking bacon. And his name is probably not Aleph. He's cooking bacon.
What you're saying is God is keto. He's for ketogenic diets.
What I'm saying is that God sits out on his deck, opens up his beer, has a beer, and even cuts his thumb sometimes, and probably even swears and says, "Oh, sugar," or "shoot,"
You
like
see?
Grandma used to say.
He'll use sugar in a negative way because he's low carb and ketogenic diet.
Exactly. So he'll make fun of like, "Oh, fat people."
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. Human, Jason Berezny says it. Humans is the craziest peoples. You're absolutely right about that. God's blessings to you too, Rose. And
Adam.
Go ahead, man.
Oh, sorry. I was just responding kind of to Adam.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, man. Read out some comments.
About DMT. Yeah, DMT, I believe it's either in the pineal gland or the pituitary gland. I think it's secreted to a certain amount, which allows us to have these dreams, right? Because it's kind of like, when we dream, it's super weird. And I do believe that at the time of death, DMT gives you that experience. But I don't necessarily think DMT is only a hallucination. I think
it's an opening. It does something to your mind that opens. I can go as far as saying open a portal, whether it be in the mind.
I think
in reference. Yeah, I believe that, bro.
It's like pharmakia, right? Like that's why I think they're legalizing more and more, drugs. I mean, they don't call
it's dark matter, dude. Dark matter can't be seen. We see the light around dark matter. Yeah. That's why when we see an entity, it doesn't even mean that that entity or that spacecraft, Jason, or anomalous phenomena, it doesn't mean there's a craft inside of it. And we could only be seeing a photonic light because we do not see their realm, or if they're from the 5D world in here, we're going to see them in 3 dimension. We're not going to see them in 5D. Yeah. Vice versa. If we go into another, in theory, from what I understand.
I hear you. From what I understand. For the DMT, I definitely think that it allows you to connect to other spiritual realms, because what they're doing is they're communicating. Multiple people are documenting, like they're doing it like scientifically almost, and documenting this. And it's like it's not like
it could probably open a good or bad portal. It's that the portal's not good or bad. It's that when it's opened up, the first thought of your energy, it's all vibrational frequencies. Yeah. If you are vibrationally an evil person, you're going to, I don't know what you're going to do, but some people have even stopped the diseases with not the disorders. When the soldiers come back and they got the shakes and traumatic experiences and stuff like that, brain injuries, like you said, some of them, when they do the DMT or psychedelic stuff, some people are completely
Yeah.
put back in place. They get rid of their demons. Some of them get rid of their demons. I've
Yeah.
seen
I believe
some
it.
talk about it. Get rid of their shakes.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson. Tyson. He did DMT.
Hey,
He,
that's a good impression.
yeah, and I like doing it too. He does it. He did DMT. He did the crocodile, which is just basically whatchamacallit, like, voyons, Bruce. Voyons, serpent, couleuvre, le venin. Venom. My God, I'm losing my English.
Yeah, microdosing stuff like
Yeah,
that.
and crocodile, which is from a frog, or saliva from a frog or something.
People have
The-
had healings, and like I said, yeah, I think DMT or ayahuasca experiences. Not
Ayahuasca is
completely
another one.
against it,
And that's
but
getting pretty strong. Some
because I
people
think,
said ayahuasca is very dangerous,
yeah,
dangerously
I
strong.
think that it'll open up something, and I don't think it's your choice what's going to come. So I
No,
think that, yeah,
it's
people
not.
can
I
have.
agree with that.
Look, somebody microdosing shrooms is I don't even think they'll have a buzz. You know what I mean? It's like drinking alcohol, right? Yeah, no
Yeah.
problem. You can drink alcohol, but they call it hard stuff spirits for nothing.
The only thing I had ever
And
tried,
I
bro,
think when
is
you're blacked
with
out
the
there,
mushroom was microdosing it. Microdosing it. I took the stem. I was always afraid. I only tried it twice.
yeah,
19, 20 years old, and I didn't want to do the head. I only wanted to do the stem. That sounds so gay. So I did the stem just a bit, just put a bit in my mouth. I got no, I'm kidding. I want to get it.
let's go back to the
No, but it was microdosing, and man, I'm not somebody that needs like drugs to be able to talk like in public. Quite the contrary. I wouldn't take drugs to go and speak in public. I would do it alone.
yeah.
But the effect that it had is, I'll say it like Mike Tyson said, I saw God.
Mhm.
I saw him. Literally said it. So
Yeah.
it was an out of body experience,
Mhm.
and everything. You could see, Tyson talks about that too. You could see the waves going by. You could actually see, Jason, the
Yeah.
waves in space and time going by your eyes at a continual pace. You could see
Yeah.
that there's a pulse, whether it be your heart that's doing that,
Yeah.
or whether it be the pulse of the gravity of Earth. There's no reason for someone to see that. As a matter of fact, with music, I did some experimentation, and it would change. The frequency would go faster or shorter.
Yeah.
I was like, what the living hell
Yeah.
am I witnessing in front of me? The frequencies, the drastic
Yeah.
colors and stuff. And I'm not talking about, the guy was doing grams of mushroom. No,
No.
a tiny stem, not even any blue or green color on it, white, dry, just a little piece. And
Yeah.
for me, my body went and got a high on the little bit of access to that
Yeah.
psychedelic. It opened my mind and heart, and I was emotional, not a
Yeah.
crazy emotional. I became very precise with my eye. I kept telling my friend, dude, I have an eagle eye. I can read the page over there, and I'm doing all these tests,
Yeah.
playing pool. Okay, go into the pool. I clear 3 tables of people there. I was so nervous playing pool that I didn't remember what they were saying. They were going, welcome back. And I'm going, hey, like Kramer, just going, okay, win all the games. I leave.
Yeah,
The guys are like, how did you do that? It's just,
yeah. I did
it's another
like
world.
when I was 14 or something during the regattas there thing, and yeah, like see, if you look at our senses, right, the eye actually reduces everything that's coming in, because if we saw every spectrum, we'd be blind.
Yeah.
We just, so
Like,
all of
imagine if you had eyes all around your head.
well, that's it. It's like we have a
Your
limited
pineal gland would be so intuitive. You'd probably say you're about to fart.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, like what I'm saying is, if we saw every like light waveform, that there'd be so much that we couldn't even navigate. Same thing. Imagine hearing every single frequency constantly. No, so your eyes limit, your ears limit, and I think that these kinds of drugs open up, because all of our sensory organs are actually drums that stop things. so that we can sense
Right.
that. I don't know if that's weird, but
Well, we
I
have
think
crystals, eh? They
definitely
thought we have
opening up.
crystals in our ears. Crystals in our ears. There's crystals in the brain where the
Yeah.
pineal gland is,
Yeah.
and probably some water there.
Yeah. Well, I believe in
Water.
like I've been dealing with the Christian haters and stuff like that and community. And I was like, look, I believe in chakras. I'm a Christian. I believe in chakras. I believe in the spiritual centers. I said the difference is I don't think that you should be playing with them.
Yeah.
Those are spiritual organs, and you should invite the appropriate spirit. In my case, I believe it's the Holy Spirit. Or if you think like, well, if I act compassionately, if I speak properly, my blue throat chakra, but like when I was in my 20s doing the serpent kundalini stuff, that didn't work out very good at all. Okay, that
No.
opened up like Pandora's box, and there was some weird stuff happening.
Yeah.
And I think that you can break those spiritual
You
organs.
tap into a frequency, a vibe
Yeah,
that people pick up on, which is sometimes malevolent.
yeah,
It's very odd. And it's not that a person entering that realm is bad or not. It's that, like you said, you don't go into the realm to experience what you want and to create a situation. You enter and you will feel that negative energy or whatever's there, negative or positive energy, obviously.
yeah. It's like, do you tell your heart what to do? Start beating a little faster. Hey, no, like your liver does what it does, and I think that those chakras and stuff, they'll do what they do, and I think forcing your will on it can be dangerous. And I'm speaking from experience. I had a bad experience, and I know some people like cuckoo experiences. So it's like, yeah, I believe in those spiritual centers. 100%.
Absolutely. Well, I'm getting communicated by something on the other side, and that's all I've ever left it at. For me, it remains interesting. People say it could be devils, got to be careful. Yeah, I get it. And I'm not spitting on that possibility. It's just quite simply, listen, there's not many people, especially you with your Christian perspective and me as ufologists, using more scientific and theories
Yep.
and stuff like that. But they just don't get along. But why can we? Because we're actually talking about many of the same things seen through different terms, different ways of perceiving how one can perceive who or what a certain event signified or what it meant, whether it be spiritual, whether it be heavenly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're messing around with us. Hey, man, we had a lot of fun. It's 10 o'clock. Probably you're going to come back on, I hope, as I will. Monday, like always, man. When you're there, I'm there. You're not there, as we do it another day after that. No problem with that.
Yeah, no, it's great. Thanks, Bruce. I really appreciate. Can I just maybe let them know about my channel, because my name isn't even on
10
there.
minutes if you want. Absolutely, bro. Go right ahead, man.
We can't share screen, can we?
Yes, you can. You can share the screen. I just put you. That's another thing you can do. Looking at me streaming, you can grab my box and put it over on the other side like this.
Yeah, let me check. I'm just throwing all these tabs down there.
Like right now, you're a second. I can't zoom you in right now. If I put you over here, I give you the control, and I can zoom you up a bit bigger than me by using that box like right there. So go right ahead, man. If you guys are going to share.
Yeah, I just want to show my small channel.
Okay, I see it here. Let me know if you want me to click on it for you. You want to set up for it?
Yeah, whatever.
You want me to wait till are you set?
No, you can put it now. It's just kind of show like
yeah, absolutely, man.
Add to stream content, stuff like that.
And don't forget to tell them that we do Mondays. Hey, bro, this is gonna be
well, that's what I'm gonna
last
show
stream.
here.
Somebody's coming over. Got some another person that's going to be coming to join the streams with us, man, to talk about fasting. So Monday.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so these are
aspirin's not safe. By the way, sorry, aspirin's not safe. I was fucking around, guys. It was an announcement. It said aspirin is safe. That's what it said in the announcement. So, all right, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I mean, some of my content is definitely like CERN. I like the Shroud of Turin I've done. Garland Farms is a regenerative farmer, so I often have him on. He's debunks veganism. This was the one that got me in trouble with OTW. What spirit is it? It had nothing to do with this gentleman here that you can
Right.
see on the left, and he brought this gentleman that's under the winky face as a bulldog. And I talk
Right.
about here assisted suicide in Canada and some of the Gnosticism. I make some funny videos once in a while too. And, sometimes I'll get into like a real God phase kind of thing. But this was when things got really toxic with this truth or flat earth communities and stuff like that. So I went through that. Then I lost my
Fuckheads.
character. It's hard, to be like one-on-one communicating with people that loathe you.
I
Be
don't know.
careful.
Maybe that's my fetish. Maybe I like being abused. I should try. I should ask some women the next time I make love to a woman or something. Hey, would you mind, honey? Just beat the friggin' living hell out of me. Just beat the
Here's the
shit
thing.
out of me. Make my ears purple. Maybe I like it. But
When
I'm
did
like
I
you
say
for that. I'm like you for that, Jason. When
Yeah.
somebody loathes me, oh yeah, it's like I want to know more about it, and often
Yeah.
they'll be very careful. They hide. There's nobody that comes here with a picture of their child beside them and tell me to f off. Right? They do it in secrecy. They
Yeah.
give themselves big names like
That's it.
Zetetic Warrior or
Yeah.
names like that.
Here, look, these are the streams that we do. This might have been my first one. I think that was
And
maybe
there's more and more people joining all the time. The streams that
great.
listen, my community, bro, I'm up to about 10, 15 people that started fasting in the community. They're
Well, they
going to
have
be
to
keeping
come
me
to
posted.
on Mondays.
They
Yeah,
will.
have
They
to come
will.
Mondays.
Fatty McButterpan, she's going to has already been by.
Oh,
And there's
that's
another
good.
one that's going to come by. I'm forgetting the name here. Which Pat Kassar is started fasting. He already comes to your channel. You must have seen him.
Pat, his name is Pat Krasar.
Yeah, Pat Kassar.
Doesn't ring a bell.
No, well, he was there. I've
no.
seen it a couple times, but he will
Yeah.
go by. It's the same little click that goes by all the time. Thanks to you all, by the way, for
Yeah.
having come here, but for going over to Jason's channel. Carry on, brother.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I'm just trying to show off a little bit. There's a wide variety. Definitely do Christian content, but it's not limited to
Doesn't
that.
matter. That's the thing. You don't like the Christian videos, go to the fasto keto fasting. There's lots of different
exactly.
topics, right? Like me, the sun.
Yeah, every morning, what I'll do pretty consistently is I read one chapter, and that's it. Because
so take that with a grain of salt and say to yourself that it's not the same about just preaching. Is that if you've never read the Bible, the only way I really read it was by going on YouTube and allowing those, like those courses you take that just read Genesis.
Yeah, to know context, or else you don't know context.
Right. And you choose a voice that doesn't bother you. You choose like, well, they say that you choose an awesome voice or something. And you listen. I listen to Revelations and I hear it. I go, oh, whoa, that is crazy. Revelations. You always hear something new. You don't have to be religious to be interested in the Bible. It's an amazing book. Yeah, it really is. It's an incredible, mysterious book.
One thing that I really like, because I'm disgusted with this eternal conscious torment. Yes, it's the majority view, but things are changing now that Christians are really have the ability to communicate more. And here, there is, if you would think it's this one. This is a Christian hater I had to deal with the past few days. But
imagine him being bald and calling me a bald motherfucker.
I do, and I'm telling you, I debunk eternal conscious torment. It is not. It is you will perish. The penalty of sin is death. God gives us this life, it says in the Bible.
Exactly.
And he wants to make us fit for the next life. And if we decide not to take that, unfortunately, we just perish. And
well, that's what you got to do. You got to add a sound to your when you're doing a video, like the video what you did with Patrick. Every time you finish talking about it, you put like an end a noise like a sword or something that goes, or something like to
Yeah.
add, just saying, and that's the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Anyways, that's it. I'm showing off my little baby channel, 738. Wide variety.
More
But
subs than me this month, by the way.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's about 6 of them are my friends that hate me.
Yeah, 6 of them are the ones that are subbing and unsubbing me. So get ready.
Yeah, and I'm
You'll go up
probably
6, you'll go down 6. You'll go up 6, you'll go down 6.
yeah.
But they make you believe that they're really cool. Like this morning, I wake up at 2:00. I started getting subscribers, and at 2:16, I had 68 subscribers.
6 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, yes. This is the one we did together. We
awesome.
should double screen like we did there. That was really cool.
Well, yeah, we'll do it again. We'll talk more about it.
Yeah.
That was, I think, pretty much of an intro, because we talked so much about. We touched a lot on the giants, though. We talked about the size of people back hundreds of years ago. We talked about the proof of real giants being found.
Yeah.
So we're in a time of revelations. Where I think, you know what, Jason? I think religious people and spiritual people are actually together on that part, where there is going to be a revelation. There really is going to be a revelation time, and it's not only about UFOs. It's going to be about him, and probably about him also, or wherever the hell he is.
It's two sides, and it seems like there's two sides, and you almost feel like they're already in the population, especially after the last 3 years there of the wonderful adventure we had. People just really separating over here. There, the Pentagon disclosure, aliens. Anyways, all of a sudden I see, Pentagon disclosure, and I'm like, I run, I call you. It was like 1 a.m. I put it down. I start live streaming.
Yeah. Mom told me.
Damn thing.
That's the whole story.
Yeah. No, this is what frustrated me. And they're all like, it's like everyone's seen really cool images, and they're like, well, we don't have to. And I was like, what a waste of time. 2 hours on that. Didn't get anything.
No. I get it.
Maddening.
But when you look here, hold on. If I kick that, you know what I don't like? To close that page that's right there in the center, I'm going to close it. I have to kick from studio. Do you know that? To close it.
I didn't know that.
And to ban someone, it's banned from studio. But why do they use the word kick? So if I kick, anyways, can you close that page there?
Sure. Yeah.
I want to see it. I prefer you do it. There we go. All right. So real quickly, I don't know if you have gone to this channel. Oh, actually, give me a second. I'll do that real quick, man, before you get off.
Yeah.
Hang tight, everyone. We're going to finish up. But listen, I love you guys. Thank you so much, everyone, for stopping by. Yeah. If there were any contributions, I didn't thank anyone. Now I'm a bit upset for that. Let me go upstairs.
If there's any like people that are late time people, I'm probably staying up like another 4 hours, and I might pop a very light live stream. So maybe in the States it's not that late, but there's a few more things I might have to debunk from my Christian hating friends. So
absolutely, which is fun. It's inspiring when you do it with confidence and be happy. It's not because they come back and say Pat's he's using trends. What he repeated this in the last video I saw was saying, "Oh, I'm coming on this morning to speak of the 7 different changes that the levels of the human chakra." He's talking fucking bullshit, dude. He's repeating what every single researcher is saying, because that's what people do. They can't have their own words. David Grush, okay, well, they're going to repeat the same words as what everyone's saying on News Nation, and it really it pisses me off. Sorry, here I just wanted to show you this a second. Sure. Let me open up the page. I'll get set up before I open it up. Take 2 seconds here before we finish off here, because I do have to. I want to take a break, actually. Good day. I did about couple of hours, almost 4 or 5 hours of streaming today. So
Yeah.
theblackvault.com, whether you heard about it or not, I get some effing good stuff on there. So let me share the screen real quickly,
Sure.
brother. We're not going to spend more than a minute and a half on this, 2 minutes. Okay, we're going to share the entire screen. There we go. Share the screen. Let's go down here. So the Black Vault, if you're looking at it, can you see it, Jason?
Yeah, there was a lag. Okay, now I see the old.
You're right. So trending, the Mojave Triangle UAP, the FOIA document. So here there are, down in the red, you can see here with my arrow, current government documents, a document page count within the Black Vault is 3,313,661. I started looking at this website. There was about 2,200,000. And they have everything from anything NASA, UAP, UFO related to internal communications. They have, look, I'm not even talking about it, but everything about Wuhan and COVID and that. The advanced aerospace weapon system, documentation, the declassified top CIA memo reveals senators saucer-like craft. In this, the media, they're picking up on these stories. They're not telling you where the stories are. They're reading what they want through the transcripts. And sometimes the transcripts are, completely there. Not sometimes, most of the time, aside from what's redacted. Here's again, an interview, June 2nd, 1970. That's a lot of old shit that's there. And Jason, they're going to be talking about Roswell too, by the way.
So what's the actual title? Like what
right
page?
Here. Look right up here. It's theblackvault.com. Theblackvault.com all together.
All right.
You can look at theblackvault.com, the podcast on YouTube. If you type in blackvault.com, you'll see his 2 channels. The guy pays out of his pockets to be able to have government papers declassified, and it's not always related to UFOs, but real quickly, like this one here, Jason, when I went into it, you can still see everything, man. Yeah.
Yep.
Even there's a bit of lag. I showed this one. This is the video. It's a couple of seconds. I'll show it to you really quickly. But actually, you possibly maybe have seen it yesterday here. So there's a UFO, which you're going to see is not too really impressive. Hold on. Let's do that again. It's not very long. Don't forget you're seeing blinding light around it because refraction from the window, which is all these lights. Maybe that's the infrared camera that's showing it. So that's what the government shows as a UFO video. Mine are freaking a lot cooler than that, dude. I guarantee you. I get to see a lot of cool stuff. So
that's why I feel like they're playing us, like that controlled opposition kind of thing. You think like, oh yeah, they're on my side, but really they're not, and stuff like that.
Exactly. Hey, Jason, watching this short video of 11 seconds, I'll show it to you once or twice.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you where to look. I want you to tell me real quickly 2 or 3 features that you notice that are sticking out to you on the video, right? Whether it be around any area in the thing. Let me know if you notice something. Let your eye travel around the whole screen.
Yeah, I'm trying to look further.
That's okay. You got to go further. I'll play it again.
I'm getting dizzy. I'm getting over labyrinthitis.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's putting me on the spot. Like, what's my name again? What's my name?
Well, it's funny you say that, but how do you think, a police officer stops someone, and that's why people don't even remember their address?
Okay, well, I mean, obviously, I'm looking like, there's the 2 here that are blatantly obvious, and then there's that speck just under the triangle. But right. I did see possibly something on the right upper.
Right. That's what I wanted you to talk about. So there's a UFO here that will flash here.
Yeah.
Always around the star. The second time it flashes, it'll be over here. So that's all you need to confirm that it's not a star, because a star all travel together in the sky, right? Except for the North Star. North Star doesn't move ever.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to see a light appear here, then a light appear here. I see lights appear here. underneath sporadic lighting in here. So there's UFOs all over the effing place. Now, because I said it, look here where the play button is.
Yeah.
For the whole video, and you will see there, and there all around. Look in the center and you'll see all the spots. I saw on top, and the second one, third one in the center, top left, top right, and again, bottom. They're flickering. You see all the lights flickering?
Yeah.
So if I was to slow down this video, which I will tomorrow, if I was to slow down the video, these flashes that you're seeing up here you would see possibly other sporadic flashes. The eye doesn't see certain flashes of light because of the frame rate. So when you slow the footage down, you see a whole lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, man, I wanted to share that. Oh, you're still there? I didn't flush you.
No, I'm still here.
Okay, actually, we'll stop sharing that. There we are, man. So you see you're over on the left. If I put you on the other side, then that way I can give you controls. There's lots of different things that we can do,
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I'll let you go. I'm like I said, if
Right
somebody's late, got a couple more hours of stuff, maybe I'll pop up.
Yeah, some people that are up. If you guys want to stop by his channel and check it out, maybe I'll be there too. We will see.
All right.
Jason, I love you, man. You know it. Man. And thanks again. We always have an effing amount of fun talking about, especially as debating. Yeah. You give a Christian perspective. I don't think you only give a Christian perspective, because you did talk about the common sense side too, about the manipulation of DNA. It's not that there's, everything was created by God, so we don't know what happened. As for changes, maybe humans did some changes to those beings made by God. We could be those.
Well, one thing that's cool is because science is, maybe maybe I'm wrong, but science used to think that time, space, and stuff like that was like infinite and eternal. Now science no time.
Now they have compartments. Well, we're always expanding. Right? We're always expanding.
But are they saying that at one point there was like a singularity and then the time space fabric expanded? That's pretty much.
They say it's always expanding. It is always expanding, and that's pretty much been a while. They've been saying that because the planets are always getting further from each other.
Yeah.
Every single planet is getting further from each other. As a matter of fact, the Milky Way, at one point, we will have traveled through the Milky Way, far into the Milky Way, because everything's always expanding. So that's an interesting thing. But now they're talking about string theory, quantum string theory, and they're saying that apparently the Big Bang didn't happen. Jason, chemicals in space. There's a whole bunch of different chemicals, and there's hot and cold. Like go into a room in a vacuum, because they say space is in a vacuum. It's only partly in a vacuum, but they say it's in a vacuum. And you start adding products in that, and you start ramping up the pressure inside of it and adding propane and then heating it and then putting it, boom. Then it creates planet parts. It creates collisions. So they're actually proving Michio Kaku saying, no, it's, the Big Bang probably didn't really happen, but science is always evolving. So they're changing. They're changing now because they're finding out about black matter, dark matter, which is not the same. Negative energy is not dark matter. Two different things.
I like at one point when I was speaking, I said, listen, and I can't prove the Christian God, but I said, if you're telling me at one point, somehow a singularity, let's say, occurred and time, space, and matter, it started expanding, like the fabric of time and everything. So I was kind of like, okay, then, but the source, not saying it's a dude or anything, the source then must be timeless, because it created time. So it's outside of time. It must be omnipresent because of the expanse of space.
Like
and
God.
It must be immaterial. So I was like
God.
Well, it sounds like a omnipresent, immaterial, timeless source.
Yeah.
Leaving it at that.
God, makes Elon Musk look like a dick. because that's basically what I think God did, is that sure, he created us, but you're not going to tell me, for me anyways, just to finish it off with a smile, no way in hell, bad example, see again, fuck, no way in Costco is God not a scientist. This guy is a genius scientist. So you know how I see it? I see him having created all little raw, rough gods. We're all on this planet, but we're not gods. I'm just saying he created us in his image. And we're all sitting here, and the first thing we want to do is, I want to take over some shit.
Yeah.
I want to dominate. I want to ridicule. I want to laugh at someone. I want to kick them in the teeth because I don't like them. And you start developing all this hatred. But there's two things that you have to develop as a human. You have to develop and maintain your cognitive dissonance, your friggin' mind. Okay. But people will lose their mind when they get rich or some people, if they get too, it's like life changes people so much. Some people, it's because they were hated, they want to hate others. It's so weird how the brain works. So we all have mental issues. None of us are diagnosed. And one day, but one day they're going to, which I don't believe it's a term, but one day they're going to come up, like in the future, in 100 years or 1,000 years from now, mental issues will be in the tens of thousands. We will all actually have probably 100 to 200 mental issues of certain things, which is not.
They blame it, on everything, but they're just poisoning our youth.
Absolutely.
Dude,
this was fun, man. We gotta do this again. We will do this again. I love you guys. Thanks everybody for coming in. I'll see you, man. Take care, buddy. Thanks a lot, Jason. Everybody, I'll see you very soon. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for coming by the channel. If you're interested in doing the fasting, Jason John Swartz's channels are my featured channels. You can check them out. No forcefulness. I don't want anybody to go there feeling that they have to, but check it out. If you like some of the shit with the trolls too, sometimes he likes replying to. He doesn't reply to trolls. It's just that he only gets trolls there, right? Except for this amazing community of mine that likes stopping by, and he's got some friends too, JD, and a couple of people that go by. So thanks to you all for being there. Seriously, Darla, Kai, everyone that goes over to Jason's channel, Leah, and I know I'm, not naming a lot, Lisa. It costs $50 million to make the machine a prototype of free energy. Isn't that sad, Lisa? Because they could have made a lot of those even back in the 50s instead of trying to, with the crap that they were doing. We took a different turn this stream. I didn't answer any comments. I'm really sorry about that. I rarely do that. Fingers crossed for the UFO news that's going to be coming up probably tomorrow in the next few days. Be prepared. Just wanted to send you a shout out, Bruce, Chris, Cabrera. Love you guys. Thank you very much, Chris. Loud and clear. Right on. Thanks, mods. This tube has made it so that now you need to add Bruce's full site before your name props up. So I just put it straight in share. My friend SG, I love you guys. You'll see when you open channels. Daz, it's very hard leaving when you see a whole bunch of people that took the time to come during the weekday to come in and say hi to you. Guys, you are my inspiration. I love you all very, very much. Keep your eyes in the sky. Be listening for the upcoming news events that I will be talking about. No matter what they talk about, we will be talking about it. If ever you see a stream that's not on a Wednesday or a Friday, it's because the news is important. So be sure to click on it and watch it. All right, mods, you are dismissed. Thank you guys. Love you all very much. Talk soon. Thanks again, Jason. Check out his channel. Bye for now. Mondays, we talk about fasting on Jason's channel. Come and join us.